All right, here we've got some solar panels. There are three types of solar panels. There's photovoltaic, solar thermal, and concentrated solar panels. First, we have the photovoltaic, which simply just allows protons or light particles to knock electrons free from atoms, generating a flow of electricity. It gets more complicated, however. They are made by photovoltaic cells, which means they convert sunlight into energy. Solar panels need to work by producing an electrical field. In order to do this, they have two outer layers of a semiconducting material, usually silicon. In order to create the solar panel electrical field, they need the separation of two charges, a positive and a negative charge. That's what creates this electrical field. And in order to do this, each side is either filled with a phosphorus base or a boron base, which gives it a positive or a negative effect. Alright, when a photon of sunlight knocks free an electron, the electron is forced out of the silicon junction and because of the electrical field, and it is then transferred through metal plates and is transferred into the wires that give us electricity. Solar thermal energy uses the thermal heat from the sun instead of the radiation, and so it heats up this water inside a collector panel, and the water goes through these tubes, and from there fluids transfer to a heat storage water tank to store, and then the steam from the hot water is powered up to a generator that produces the electricity. Concentrated solar energy just uses mirrors to collect a certain surface area of sunlight and concentrate it to a certain spot on a solar panel, and it works just like a photovoltaic panel or a solar thermal panel. Concentrated solar energy just uses mirrors to collect a certain surface area of sunlight and concentrate it to a certain spot on a solar panel, and it works just like a photovoltaic panel or a solar thermal panel.
As of the first half of 2017, the average price for solar panels in the state of Utah was $3.26 per watt. Thus, since the average system in the U.S. is 5 kilowatts or 5,000 watts, the cost of a solar panel system in Utah is $16,300 before any rebates or incentives. Looking at Utah's dollar per watt average, which is $3.26, and the overall U.S. average, which is $3.39, there is a slight disparity. However, Utah's state solar rebate is what is largely responsible for the state's major price advantage and the resulting boom that its solar market has experienced in recent years. The Utah state tax incentive is offered as a rebate for next year's state taxes, and it's valued at 25% of total installation costs of up to $2,000. Depending on the size of the system you're installing, the state tax, when paired with the federal ITC, could lead to as much as a 40% deduction of your overall cost going out of the year.
There are two main positive effects on the environment. One of those being it doesn't produce any greenhouse gases or any pollution. Another of the positive effects is that it reduces the strain on Earth's finite resources such as coal and gas. So, though there may be some positive impacts on the environment, there are also many negative impacts on the environment. To make large solar fields, we have to clear out large areas of land so that it could destroy animal habitats. Also, we use hazardous materials in making the solar panels, and if those aren't disposed of properly, it can cause damage to the environment as well. It doesn't produce any pollution, but during the production of solar panels, it produces a lot more pollution than coal and natural gas. So, yeah.
Alright, solar energy doesn't have a whole lot of effect on the community since it produces no pollution when it's like in functioning, but however in the making of it, it's used hazardous materials and it produces a lot of pollution, but it's not really my topic. Sorry about that. But a lot of people only complain about it being in communities that it doesn't really look good. But that's just some opinion. Some people think it looks really nice and sleek. Some people think, ew, that's nasty. Ew, get it off my roof. But tough luck. It saves a lot of money for people. It's very cost efficient. And like, if we did make solar fields, it would take a lot of land time to make it, but it also provide a lot of jobs for those who need the jobs.
There are a lot of common myths associated with solar panels. One of them is that they create a lot of glare. Solar panels are meant to absorb light, and so they don't produce much glare. They're actually less reflective than water sources, so your pond will reflect more water than the panel will. It also doesn't reflect heat very well because, as the other panels were mentioned by Trevor, they're meant to absorb heat, so they don't reflect it in some weird way. You can also still use the energy produced during the night. A lot of people think that just because you're running off solar panels, that you can't use the energy if it's not bright out. That's completely false. There are bunches of good lithium-ion batteries that store all of the energy, and so you're just using those throughout the day. During the night, you still have just as much energy. It's not producing anymore, and you're running off of reserves, but it's still creating some. But frick.
Nice. Look at this kid.
Look at this dude.